ولقد أريناه آياتنا كلها فكذب وأبى قال أجئتنا لتخرجنا من أرضنا بسحرك يا موسى.
Back in 2021, after the world was finally beginning to recover from COVID-19, two young people were counting down to something they had been waiting for. For throughout their lockdown, for months, they have stayed connected through calls, messages, and long conversations. They talked about the day they will finally see each other again. And apparently, he never forgot that promise. When the lockdown ended, he decided to do something she will never expect. He rented an apartment, he decorated it. He invited some of his friends and some of hers. But there was something she didn't know. This wasn't just a reunion. He had planned to propose. Everything was ready. The people were waiting. And then she walked in. At first, everything seemed completely normal. She saw him, she approached him. And as he came forward to greet her, he suddenly went down on one knee. At that moment, she realized what was happening. The entire gathering was for her, and that's where things became difficult to explain. Now, look closely at her reaction. She's shaking. At first, you may think she's simply overwhelmed. Maybe she's nervous, maybe she's excited, or maybe after waiting so long to see him again, the emotions were simply too much. But watch what happens next. He takes out the ring. He's waiting for her to accept it. But look at her hands. She moves them forward, then pulls them back, forward, then back, shaking, almost as if she wants to accept the ring, but something is making her hesitate. And then everything changes. She screams. At first, some of the people around her don't seem to understand what is happening. They may have thought she was screaming from excitement. Even the man himself was confused. But she doesn't stop. And the words coming out of her mouth were translated. The situation became even more disturbing. She was repeatedly saying words to the effect of, "You will not marry anyone." Now go back to the beginning, because once you know what happened later, her first reaction suddenly looks completely different. The shaking, the hesitation, the way she struggled to put her finger forward. At the beginning, it looked like excitement. But after hearing what she said, you start wondering whether everyone in that room had misunderstood what they were watching. And then it gets even stranger. Now she moves closer to him and she says the same kind of words directly towards him in his face. At this point, the man isn't smiling anymore. He's confused. The people around them are confused also. And what was supposed to be one of the happiest moments of the evening had suddenly become something nobody in that room seemed prepared for. But there's one explanation people immediately started talking about: an Ashiq Jinn or Sihr. In Islam, Ashiq Jinn refers to a jinn believed to become attached to a person, sometimes becoming extremely possessive and interfering with their relationships or marriage. And this is why this clip got so much attention. Look at the timing. A marriage proposal is happening. Everyone is focused on the ring, and suddenly she reacts as if something is deeply wrong. This kind of reaction can happen when the jinn is believed to oppose a person's marriage or become attached to them. And there is another possibility: sihr. Allah tells us in Surah Al-Baqarah that sihr can be used to cause separation between a man and his wife. So when people saw this reaction, many immediately connected to either Ashiq Jinn or sihr. But there's one thing we still cannot know from a video: what was actually happening to her. So watch the moment again and pay attention to her reaction when the ring appears and tell me what you think triggered it.